Why does grandma smell like that? It was just a question, an innocent one, spoken by a curious child filled with love. But to the elderly woman who heard it, it felt like a knife wrapped in truth, sharp, sudden, and quietly devastating. This video isn't just about a smell, it's about something deeper, something more sacred. It's about how aging affects our bodies in ways that are rarely discussed out loud and even more rarely understood. You see, there's an odor that tends to emerge as we grow older. Scientifically, it's linked to a compound called 2-nonenal. But what's behind that name? What's the meaning beneath the surface? For many, this scent becomes a symbol of shame. It marks decline, invisibility, isolation. But I want to invite you to see it through a new lens, through the eyes of compassion, awareness, and spiritual understanding. As a lifelong student of Buddhist philosophy, I've come to realize that our bodies are not simply flesh and bone. They are living temples, sacred structures meant to be honored, not just groomed, but deeply cared for with mindfulness and respect. When these temples are neglected, whether through forgetfulness, fatigue, or emotional pain, imbalance sets in, not just on the skin, but in the soul. Not just in the body, but in the relationships that orbit around it. In this video, we're going to explore the real reason elderly people develop a distinct body odor. And it's not just about poor hygiene or getting old. The 3 hidden areas of the body where bacteria and old energy accumulate most, and why cleansing these spots can transform not just scent, but spirit. How Buddhist mindfulness, when applied to the care of our physical body, can help restore dignity, mend generational misunderstandings, and reconnect families through something as simple as a shared touch or warm towel. This isn't a medical lecture. This is a heart-to-heart conversation, one that blends science with soul and cleanliness with compassion. Because when you understand what's truly going on, you stop seeing the elderly as others and start seeing them as mirrors of your own future, your own body, your own humanity. And before we end, I'll share the unforgettable story of an elderly monk. He carried no fragrance, no cologne, but his scent changed lives, not through artificial means, but through something much more powerful, mindful purification. His secret, you'll want to hear it. If you find truth in these words, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Buddhist Mindfulness. Now take a deep breath. Let's begin. Part 1, Understanding the Scent of Aging. Aging is a journey filled with wisdom, transformation, and unfortunately, sometimes a scent we wish we could ignore. But this isn't about embarrassment. It's about awareness, compassion, and dignity. Let's walk through this with a soft heart and open mind. 1. Reduce sweat production, the hidden cost of less sweat. As we age, our bodies change in quiet, unexpected ways. One such change is a reduction in sweat production. Now, at first glance, this might seem like a good thing. Less sweat, fewer stains, and no body odor, right? But here's the truth. Sweat is more than a nuisance. It's a detox mechanism. Sweat helps flush out toxins, cools us down, and keeps our skin microbiome in balance. When our bodies produce less sweat, toxins and metabolic waste can accumulate beneath the skin. These toxins mix with dead skin cells and bacteria, leading to unpleasant body odor, even when we feel clean. And because older skin is thinner and drier, these substances don't shed as easily. The result? A subtle, musty smell that many describe as old person smell, a term often used cruelly but rooted in real biology. 2. Changes in sebum and skin oils, the 2-nonenal effect. Around the age of 50, another biological shift begins to take place. Our skin starts to produce a compound called 2-nonenal. This oily, unsaturated aldehyde forms when fatty acids on our skin oxidize, meaning they react with oxygen in the air. Unlike typical body odor, which is often linked to bacteria and sweat, 2-nonenal has a unique scent, described as greasy, grassy, or metallic. It lingers on clothing, pillows, and in rooms. But this is not about being dirty. In fact, even someone who showers every day can still carry this scent because it is deeply tied to internal changes in skin chemistry and metabolism. This is nature, it's biology, and it deserves understanding, not shame. Hence 3, dry mouth and chronic bad breath, the oral health dilemma. Another quiet but common change in aging is a decrease in saliva production. Saliva is critical, not just for digestion, but for oral hygiene. When saliva dries up, bacteria thrive. And when bacteria multiply in the mouth, bad breath becomes chronic, lingering no matter how often you brush your teeth or chew gum. Older adults often experience this issue due to medication side effects, dehydration, illness, decreased taste sensitivity, leading to less water intake. Sometimes the breath carries a metallic or sour note. Other times it smells like decay. And tragically, many elderly people are unaware of it until a loved one pulls away during a conversation or a grandchild turns their head during a hug. In the teachings of the Buddha, the body is a reflection of the karmic residue we carry. It's not about guilt, it's about consciousness. Every choice, every habit, every moment of mindfulness or its absence leaves an imprint on the body. Neglect, even when unintentional, slowly manifests not just in our energy, but in our scent, posture, and presence. Cleanliness, then, is not about vanity. It is an act of vigilance, clarity, and respect for the temple that carries us. I remember a senior monk once said, "Even the scent of your robe reveals the state of your heart. A calm mind smells like clear air. A chaotic one leaves traces behind." Let me tell you about Linda. Linda is 68. She lost her husband 5 years ago and now lives alone in a small apartment. Her granddaughter used to visit often, climb into her lap, and cuddle while watching cartoons. But one day, when Linda leaned in for a hug, her granddaughter turned her face and stepped away. Later, the child said innocently, "Grandma smells weird." Linda told me, with tears in her eyes, "I've never felt so alone, not even when my husband died." That one sentence cracked something in me. This wasn't about hygiene. Linda showers daily. She brushes her teeth twice a day. But no one had ever told her about nonenal. No one had explained why her granddaughter recoiled. This emotional pain, this invisible rejection, cuts deeper than we imagine. When I was younger, I lived in a monastery for several years. We had to fold our robes every morning with precision, and sometimes the elder monks would walk by and simply sniff the air around us. If they smelled dampness or mildew, they wouldn't scold us. They would just nod and say, "Your robe carries your thoughts." At first, I didn't understand, but over time I realized they were speaking of subtle awareness, the way your inner world eventually shows in the outer one. If your mind is restless, you forget to dry your clothes properly. You skip little acts of care. You leave the dish in the sink. You don't clean behind your ears. And one day, you wonder why people don't want to sit near you. This conversation isn't meant to embarrass. It's meant to liberate. When we understand the biology, we can approach it. When we reflect spiritually, we can accept it. And when we open emotionally, we can heal the pain of distance. You are not less than because your body has changed. You are more experienced, more resilient, more worthy of compassion. And with small daily steps, whether it's wiping behind your ears, switching to natural fabrics, changing your pillowcases, or simply drinking more water, you can reclaim the purity and grace of your presence. You deserve to be held. You deserve to be close. You deserve to be clean, not just outside, but in the gentle awareness that says, "I am still here. I am still worthy of love." Part 2, the 3 hidden spots you must clean. Most seniors bathe daily. In fact, many of us have made it a sacred ritual, something we've done for decades with the same rhythm, the same soap, the same gentle touch. But despite our best efforts, there's something frustrating that often lingers, that old person smell. So what causes it? The surprising truth is this: it's not about how often we bathe, it's about what we miss. After age 60, our skin changes. We produce a natural compound called nonenal, which has a slightly greasy, musty scent. This substance clings to oils and builds up in hard-to-reach or overlooked areas of the body. We're not dirty, we're just not cleaning where it matters most. Let's dive into the 3 hidden zones most people overlook and how cleaning them mindfully can refresh not just our bodies, but our spirits too. 1. Skin folds and forgotten creases, behind the ears, under the breasts, in the armpits, groin, and behind the knees, the back of the neck, and inside the elbows. These aren't just tricky spots. They're traps for sweat, bacteria, and dead skin cells. As we age, our skin loses elasticity. Folds become deeper and airflow to these areas decreases. That creates a warm, moist environment, ideal for bacteria and fungi to thrive. Let me tell you a story. A dear friend of mine, Margaret, always kept an immaculate home. She wore perfume, bathed every day, and took pride in her hygiene. Yet one day at the doctor's office, a nurse gently pulled her aside and said, "Have you been cleaning under your breasts?" She was shocked. She had never thought to lift and clean thoroughly underneath, not because she didn't care, but because no one had ever told her how important it was. From that day on, she paid special attention to her skin folds, using a soft washcloth and gentle, unscented soap. The change was remarkable, not just in smell, but in how she felt in her body. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha teaches mindfulness of the body, not just the breath or posture, but the entire body, from the soles of the feet upward and from the top of the hair downward. Every fold, every crevice, every place we usually ignore, they all matter. When we bring gentle awareness to our own body, we restore not only cleanliness, but balance and respect for this temple that carries us through life. So, next time you bathe, pause. Lift the skin gently, wash mindfully. It's not a chore, it's an act of self-love. 2. Hairy zones, scalp, chest hair, armpits, hair traps, everything. Sweat, oil, odor, and old skin cells. And many people assume that a quick rinse or shampoo is enough. But the truth is, without real friction and attention, the scalp remains dirty beneath the surface. And odor, it loves to cling to hair. Here's what I've learned. When I wash my scalp with intention, massaging in circles, feeling the skin move beneath my fingers, I don't just feel clean, I feel awake. Because the scalp isn't just any patch of skin. It's where our thoughts arise. It's where we process the world, memories, wisdom, dreams. Cleaning your scalp isn't just hygiene, it's a ritual. It's about honoring the crown of the body, the space where spirit and thought meet. In some Buddhist temples, monks shave their heads not just for simplicity, but as a symbol of detachment, letting go of vanity and ego. But even for those of us with hair, we can still treat the head as sacred. Take a little time to shampoo slowly. Use your fingernails gently if needed. Let the water rinse through every strand. You're not just washing hair, you're clearing your mind. Don't forget the armpits and chest hair. They often get a quick swipe, but like the scalp, they require massage and care. Use warm water, circular motions, and if needed, a little antibacterial soap. This is where body meets breath. Treat it with reverence. 3. Feet and palms. Let's talk about the most forgotten body part, the feet. They carry us everywhere. They support us through joy and grief, through pain and prayer, and yet they're often neglected. I once met an elderly Zen teacher who told me something I'll never forget. You can tell a person's spiritual clarity by how he washes his feet. He didn't mean fancy scrubs or pedicures. He meant awareness. A person who bows to their feet in care, who cleans between every toe with attention and respect. That's a person who's grounded, humble, and awake. So, how do you care for your feet properly? Clean between the toes with a soft cloth or your fingers. Use antibacterial soap or wipes if necessary, especially if there's been sweating. Rotate your shoes daily to let them breathe. After washing, dry thoroughly, especially between the toes. Moisture invites fungus. Massage gently, not only to cleanse, but to stimulate circulation. And don't forget the palms. We often think, my hands touch water all the time. I don't need to clean them. But palms accumulate grease, oils, and even food particles. Over time, this contributes to odor and bacterial buildup. If you're retired, you may not be gardening or working with your hands as much, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve care. In many spiritual traditions, both feet and hands are considered points of contact with the sacred. They touch the earth, offer service, hold the hands of loved ones, press together in prayer. When we clean them with awareness, we're not just removing dirt, we're recognizing the journey they've taken with us. We all want to feel fresh, clean, and dignified. But as we age, our bodies change, and our approach to hygiene must evolve too. This isn't about shame, it's about awareness. Cleansing the hidden spots, skin folds, hairy zones, and the often overlooked feet and hands is not just a medical recommendation, it's a spiritual practice. It's a way of returning home to yourself. So next time you bathe, slow down. Touch each part of your body as if it were sacred, because it is. Part 3, diet, hydration, and daily habits. In the journey of aging gracefully, of walking through the golden years with clarity, vitality, and presence, our daily choices become our silent rituals. What we eat, how we hydrate, the way we move, and even how we bathe are not merely routine activities. They become sacred. They shape not only our physical wellness, but also our emotional state, mental clarity, and even the way we carry ourselves in the world. This is not about perfection. It's about presence, living in tune with our body and soul. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. But in truth, you're not just what you eat, you are what you digest, absorb, and exhale. The body is in constant communication with the outside world, and one of the most subtle yet revealing expressions of your internal state is your scent. Foods with high antioxidant content, like tomatoes, berries, and cucumbers, do more than just nourish your cells. They cleanse the bloodstream, reduce inflammation, and promote clear skin. These foods are water-rich, easy to digest, and packed with nature's intelligence. Berries especially help neutralize free radicals, reducing cellular aging and even minimizing body odor. But just as food can purify, it can also pollute. Highly processed meats, for example, leave a long-lasting imprint on the body. They are rich in sulfur and chemical preservatives that don't digest easily. Instead, they stagnate. Garlic, though healthy in many respects, can be overpowering for some bodies, especially as we age and our metabolism slows. And alcohol, while socially acceptable, impairs the liver's ability to cleanse, making its byproducts seep not just through our breath, but our skin as well. It's not about demonizing certain foods, it's about observing how they make you feel, how they influence your scent, and how they affect your energy. Each bite carries its own frequency. Buddhist insight: food is medicine. Both Ayurvedic and Buddhist medicine have long taught that food is more than nutrition. It is energy, karma, and intention. What you ingest becomes your blood, your mood, your thoughts. Your body, over time, carries the fragrance of your choices. Monks and spiritual practitioners are taught to eat slowly, with gratitude, understanding that the simple act of eating is a ritual of transformation. From the bowl to the bloodstream, food becomes the energy you share with the world. Eat with mindfulness, and you'll find your scent changes, your skin clears, and your heart feels lighter. Water is not just a thirst quencher, it is life's solvent. It carries nutrients to your cells, flushes toxins from your organs, cushions your joints, and even helps regulate body temperature. But beyond the physical, water is symbolic. It is clarity, flow, renewal. Drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water a day is not about counting ounces. It's about tuning into your body's needs. Many older adults lose their natural sense of thirst, mistaking dehydration for fatigue or hunger. Start the day with a glass of warm lemon water. It gently wakes up the digestive system, boosts liver function, and alkalizes the body. It's a small act with powerful ripple effects. Carry a glass or stainless steel water bottle. Avoid plastic whenever possible. Let hydration be your invisible armor against fatigue, foggy thinking, and that subtle stiffness that creeps in as the years go by. You don't need to join a gym or run marathons. The simplest movement can often be the most transformative. Begin your day with a 20-minute walk in the morning light. This is not just about exercise. It's about aligning your circadian rhythm, balancing your hormones, and soaking in the healing power of the sun. Morning sunlight helps stimulate serotonin production, which lifts your mood and improves sleep quality later at night. It also naturally suppresses the overgrowth of bacteria on the skin, including those that contribute to body odor. Avoid activities that induce heavy sweating or strain. Especially as we age, the goal is not to push the body, but to listen to it. Gentle yoga, stretching, or even just light housework can be enough to get the circulation flowing. Remember, movement is not punishment for eating. Movement is celebration of being alive. Bathing is often treated as a chore, a quick rinse before bed. But what if you turned it into a ritual? Once a week, treat yourself to a soothing soak in warm water infused with Epsom salts. Epsom salts are rich in magnesium, which calms the nervous system, reduces inflammation, and promotes restful sleep. As you soak, allow the warm water to soften more than just your muscles. Let it soften your worries. Use a natural loofah or gentle cloth to exfoliate the skin, sloughing off dead cells and old energy. Avoid synthetic fragrances, which can irritate the skin and disturb the body's natural scent. Instead, explore sandalwood, neem, or rose essential oils, all known for their antimicrobial and calming properties. These oils don't just smell good, they purify the body and soothe the mind. In Buddhist cultures, neem is often referred to as the village pharmacy, and sandalwood is believed to aid in meditation and elevate consciousness. I chant softly while bathing, not for prayer, but for presence. Each stroke of the sponge is a whisper to myself, this body is worthy of love. This simple practice, repeating loving phrases, breathing deeply, being mindful of each movement, can transform a mundane shower into a sacred ceremony. In that stillness, you remember, this is not just skin, this is your temple. Wear loose, breathable clothing, preferably made of cotton or linen. Your skin needs to breathe too. Change out of sweaty or tight clothing as soon as possible. Sleep on clean sheets, washed in fragrance-free detergent. Brush your tongue each morning, a practice borrowed from Ayurveda that helps reduce odor-causing bacteria and freshens breath from the inside out. These little choices don't take extra time, but they do require intention. And with intention comes healing. In the golden years of life, everything slows down just enough for you to notice. You begin to see the sacred in the ordinary. A glass of water becomes a blessing. A short walk becomes a prayer. And a bath turns into a ritual of renewal. Aging doesn't mean fading, it means refining. It means choosing to nourish rather than numb, to cleanse rather than cover up, to honor the body rather than ignore it. So today, choose one ritual, just one. Whether it's warm lemon water in the morning, a 20-minute walk in the sun, or an unhurried bath while humming softly. Do it not out of duty, but out of devotion. Your body will respond, your spirit will glow, and the world will sense it, even in the way you exhale. Part 4. Clothing, Environment, and Aura. Clothing isn't just fabric covering your body, it's an extension of the energy you carry into the world. When you wear a freshly clean shirt, you immediately feel the difference. More confident, lighter, like your body and mind have just been rinsed free of worldly dust. Washing your clothes after each wear isn't just about hygiene. It's a form of respect. Respect for yourself and respect for those around you. Clean clothes carry a clear, uplifting energy that makes others feel safe and at ease around you. Even if we don't notice it consciously, the human subconscious is remarkably sensitive to cleanliness and attentiveness. Make it a habit to rotate your shoes and jackets. Don't wear the same pair until they trap odor and moisture. Give them time to breathe, to dry, to rest. Even small acts like these make a big difference in the way people feel your presence. Air out your bedding every week. Even if you change your sheets regularly, there's something undeniably calming about blankets and pillows that carry the soft scent of sunlight and fresh air. It's good for your skin, your mood, and your overall sense of well-being. Choose breathable fabrics like cotton, linen, or bamboo as if you're choosing something for your skin to breathe through. When your skin can breathe freely, your mind follows. Natural fabrics keep you cool, reduce odor, and foster lightness in both body and spirit. An elderly nun once shared with me a phrase I've never forgotten: if your robe smells, your merit leaks. At first, it sounds like a light joke, but the more you reflect on it, the deeper it becomes. A person whose body odor lingers or whose clothes carry an unpleasant scent is often someone who lacks a sense of presence, of grounded care. Our scent, like our breath, is part of how we show up in the world. A foul odor isn't just a physical issue, it's a spiritual one. It signals a disconnect, a neglect, a lack of mindfulness toward the sacred vessel we inhabit. When we stop paying attention to our own body, it becomes harder to truly care for others. Cleanliness is not just about physical tidiness, it's part of your energetic offering to the world. Imagine walking into a room where someone has just stepped out of the shower, wearing fresh clothes, offering a gentle smile. You don't even need to speak. Their presence alone makes you want to sit beside them, to open up. Now imagine the opposite. A faint odor lingers in the air, perhaps unnoticed at first, but slowly your body tenses, your breath shortens, your desire to engage fades. It's not a moral judgment, it's instinct. This isn't about being critical. It's about biology. We communicate with others through more than just words. We speak through eye contact, body language, tone of voice, and yes, scent. The way we smell and the freshness of our clothing and living space all contribute to our aura, our energetic field. A clean, mindful person emits an aura of ease, warmth, and approachability. They attract trust, affection, and respect simply by existing in a state of awareness. Scent is a silent language. You cannot mask a bad odor with words, nor can you fake the pure freshness that comes from self-care. It's an unspoken truth about how we live and who we are. If your body is well cared for, your clothes smell fresh, your room is airy, your bedding sun-kissed, not only will you feel physically better, but your relationships will improve. You'll feel more connected, more embraced, more at peace. On the other hand, if you let yourself go, wearing unwashed clothes, letting your bedding fester, ignoring personal hygiene, you may find yourself quietly withdrawing, feeling lonely, and not knowing why. Freshness invites, staleness repels, not because people are cruel, but because we are wired to sense what is life affirming and what is not. Let cleanliness become a quiet daily meditation, not a chore, but a sacred act. Fold your clothes mindfully, wash them thoroughly, hang them where the breeze and the sun can purify. Change your jackets, flip your mattress, shake out your pillows, let light and air enter your room like welcomed guests. Because in the end, people won't remember the brand you wore, but they'll remember whether you felt warm, fresh, and comforting to be around. But let's be honest, sometimes even the strongest bonds can feel strained when physical discomfort enters the room. A sour scent can make someone hesitate, not out of rejection, but out of confusion, discomfort, or social conditioning. And for many older adults, that hesitation can feel like rejection, creating a silent wall between them and the ones they love. But that wall is not permanent. You have the power to break it down. By reclaiming your body, you reclaim your presence in this world. You reclaim your confidence. Your hugs become sacred invitations. Your presence brings calm instead of awkwardness. Your scent becomes a whisper of peace and care, not of neglect or sorrow. Let me share a memory that's never left me. There was once a 92-year-old Buddhist monk named Master Shen. When I met him, his aura was serene, almost otherworldly. He wore the same simple robes every day, yet he carried no trace of scent, no perfume, no sweat, no musk of age, just stillness. Curious, I asked him gently, "Master, what is your secret? How do you smell like nothing?" He looked at me with kind eyes and said, "I wash my body with water, I wash my mind with mindfulness, and I wash my heart with compassion." Then he added, "Cleanliness is not about fighting dirt. It's about respecting the sacred vessel we live in." That moment humbled me, because cleanliness, I realized, is not just hygiene, it is a form of self-honor. When you cleanse your body with love instead of shame, you realign your spirit. You send a message to yourself and the world. I matter. I am still here, and I deserve to be embraced, not avoided. So today, let's make a promise. Not to be perfect, not to erase every wrinkle or pretend we're young again, but to care deeply, consistently, reverently for this body that has carried us through decades. Let your morning cleansing be a ritual of love. Let your body be treated as sacred ground. You are not less because you're aging. In many ways, you are becoming more. You've earned the right to be embraced without hesitation. You've earned the right to walk into a room with confidence. You've earned the right to feel fresh, grounded, and at peace. Let that be your new scent, serenity. If this message touched your heart in any way, like this video to help others find their way back to self-respect. Comment below. Have you ever struggled with this? What practices help you feel clean and connected? Subscribe to Buddhist Mindfulness for weekly guidance on aging with wisdom, grace, and inner peace. Let's grow older together, with open hearts, with clean hands, with dignity, wisdom, and absolutely no shame. Until next time, breathe deeply and walk gently.